that we deserve.
Now, joining us to discuss law enforcement behavior is retired LAPD officer and author of One Time, the Story of South Central LA Police Officer in Honor Without Integrity is Brian Bentley. Thank you for joining us, Brian.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on here.
Thank you. Now, my first question for you is, why do cops think they can get away with abusive behavior?
Well, cops don't think they can get away with abusive behavior. They know they can. They practice it. It's not something by chance. It's like a secret recipe that's been passed on for generations, and it's a fail-proof system that has been working for generations. And I'll give you a quick example. Police officers are trained to bypass your civil rights, and they practice it, they rehearse it. At my station, the watch commander always kept a clipboard, and on that clipboard it had a number of police reports. And on those police reports, they tried to get the ones that were very vague, where the suspect was a male black between 5'5", 6'2", between 18 to 29 years old. And they kept these reports in the office so that police officers had probable cause to pull someone over. When a police officer stops you and says, "Hey, you fit the description," you know, in your mind, you don't, but you do. You will fit a description by the time you get to that police station.
Wow.
Now, can you talk to us about what qualified immunity is?
Well, you know, with my dealings with the police department, you know, the way that I explain it is that police officers have the legal right to accidentally murder you.
Wow.
You know, your life to the police department is, you know, I equate it to if you go to the grocery store and the clerk puts your eggs at the bottom of the bag and breaks all your eggs. They don't get fired; they get trained. And it's the same thing with your life with the police officer. If they accidentally murder you, they don't go to jail, prison. They just get trained. They just get retrained. So they have the legal right. You know, it's very disturbing to kill you by accident.
Wow.
And you have to prove that, you know, they woke up in the morning and that was their intention, was to go out and kill somebody. You know, if you can't really prove that, then you don't have first degree murder. You don't have something like what we have now, a third degree or a second degree, because there's no proof that what was in that person's mind before they went out and did that deed. If you're absent of a text message or some type of witness who can say that was your intent, you're allowed to kill somebody by accident.
Wow. Qualified immunity. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more about that.
Now, do you think the protests and the new push to defund police will help reform law enforcement?
Well, I'm pretty sure it will help reform law enforcement. It may bring the crime rate down. But I can tell you one thing it won't do. It will not stop police brutality. Police brutality will always be there. Some police officers cannot help it. It's like being addicted to cigarettes and alcohol. They cannot control themselves. And you can see it. I mean, police officers they know ahead of time that if they're convicted of a crime, they will go to prison, they'll lose their pension, their family, go to prison, be raped in prison. You know, they know all these consequences, but they still do it, and they do it with cameras everywhere on their body.
That's so discouraging to hear.
I know. That's hard.
Stores. I mean, you have cameras on stores, people holding cell phones, cameras on their body, and they still do it.
Right.
Wow.
Now,
And they have no choice. I mean, to them, that's what they go out there and they do, and they live for it every day. That's what they wake up for, and then that's what their motivation for going to the job.
and seeing this every day, Brian, I got to ask you, have you ever worked with a racist cop?
My training officer was a racist cop, and let me tell you, my first day on the job, my training officer pulled me aside and said, "Hey, look, I'm not here to train you. I'm here to fire you. I don't think that's wrong on the job. Blacks, women, you guys are only on the job because of affirmative action, and my job is to get rid of you, not to train you, not to keep you on the job."
Wow.
I went and told my captain, who was black, by the way, that my partner was racist, and he looked at me and said, "I've been on the job for 35 years. You don't think I know that?" He said, when I came on the job for the first 5 years, my name was Nigger. It wasn't officer.
Are you serious?
It was Nigger. He goes, so what you have to deal with is nothing compared to what I had to deal with. So get the hell out of my office.
Wow. Now, do you ever speak up when you see misconduct?
A good partner. Well, here's this how it goes. If you're a good partner, someone has to. And naturally, you may get into situations where emotions may run high, and someone has to be level-headed.
Right.
So if you're a good partner, you will calm a person down. You'll tell a person, "Hey, stop. Don't do that. Take a step back." But here's the thing: the way law enforcement works is different than any other job. In any other job, if I make a complaint against you for misconduct, they'll investigate it. If they don't find anything, then that's pretty much the end of it. In law enforcement, if you make a mistake, and if I say you're a racist, but I cannot prove it, then I lied to a supervisor, and then I get fired. If I can't prove the misconduct that I'm telling you, that I'm reporting, I get fired.
Well, Brian, I'm so sorry that you even had to deal with that. That's just simply incredible. This conversation has been so amazing. We will continue our conversation with Brian on Monday's episode of The Black Report.
As we continue to answer the question,